Hey everybody, Matt Sellhorst at Boat Dealer Profits. I just finished up another boot camp, and this is something that the owner asked me to go over with his salespeople and his staff. It's something that was, for him, it was valuable to have it come from somebody other than himself. He had talked about the cost of discounting, on major units. The same thing applies to parts and service, accessories, everything. But how quickly profit is lost. I don't know if you can see all the numbers here, but this was the example that he gave me from his dealership that I presented to his staff to get in their heads that, listen, we can't just be a discounter. That can't be the only tool in our toolbox. We've got to have a true sales and marketing system. That's why he made the major investment, brought everybody to the boot camp. I think we had 5 people here. 3 salespeople, the service manager, and the owner, and it was a fantastic event. Let me walk you through the numbers that I went over, and it may be something you want to share with your staff. It may be something that, hey, there's something like that in our dealership that if I could just have somebody else explain it, somebody else walk people through it, it might stick a little bit, it might carry a little bit more weight. Some of the things that we talk about are service issues, relationship between sales and service, profitability, the importance of follow-up, the importance of past customer, the gold mine in your past customer list. So let me walk you through this one real quick. With an example that we had was a selling price of $37,795 with an invoice of $28,947. A 15% deal, I think, is where it came out. Gave you $8,800 in net income, expenses of just under $6,700. And a net profit of, if you can see that number right there, $2,158. With a simple 10% discount, and as a salesperson, that's how they think of it, a simple 10% discount. That's a small 10%, that's nothing. Well, that drops your selling price to just over $34,000. Price of the boat obviously doesn't change, but your net income drops to $5,100. As a salesperson, I think, hey, $5,100, that's great. Well, what they don't understand is that expense number stays virtually the same. Even if you do it as a percentage of gross, that number still is over $6,000. And that 10% drop, that $3,700 price drop, leaves you with a deal that cost your dealership over $900, a $900 loss. What a salesperson sees as a $5,100 income, in reality, is a loss to the dealership. Now, yes, there are some boats that just have to go, and you've got to do it. But when that becomes their go-to move, sometimes you've got to address that. And with this dealer, we did. And just by the sheer fact, the owner told me after the event, or after we presented this that night, that Matt, I've talked these guys through that. I don't know how many times I've explained that to them, but for whatever reason, when you said it to them, when you walked them through it, the light bulb came on and they got it. Sometimes just because of the fact that I'm not you, as crazy as that sounds, that I'm not the owner of the business, and I'm saying virtually the same thing, although I'm going to say a little bit different, there are oftentimes changes that can happen in their head, which is where a lot of the problems start from. Changes can happen in their head that are going to benefit you down the long haul. So I just wanted to walk you through that. I thought it really stuck with me when we talked the other night in our wrap-up session, after the about 9 hours together we spent in the war room, that he said, Matt, you know what, that part you did on discounting, I think it finally sank in, and I think the light bulb finally came on. And then we went on to talk about the value of having somebody else say the same thing you've been talking about for years, just because it's somebody else. If that's an area I can add value, it's not what I do, but by nature of me not being you, that's another added value to these boot camps and to the services I offer. If you're interested, check me out at Boat Dealer Profits. Request one of my free reports, how to sell more boats at higher margins, my video report. But hopefully that is valuable. If nothing else, you got an example to use to talk your salespeople through and may be able to address that margin issue yourself. Thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you soon.